It's 11:47 p.m. The room is dark except for the glow of a phone screen, lighting up one face from below. She's sitting up in bed, knees pulled to her chest, thumb hovering over the keyboard. He's 3 feet away, back turned, breathing slow like he's asleep, but he's not. He's staring at the ceiling. Neither of them has said a word in 20 minutes. Why does this keep happening? Why do I feel more alone with him than I do by myself? Did I say something wrong? Is this just what it feels like after a while? Am I too much? Am I not enough? Wait, here's the part almost nobody says out loud. Attraction doesn't die in the big arguments, it dies in the small texts. One message, sent at the wrong moment, in the wrong tone, from the wrong place inside you, and something shifts that neither of you can name, but both of you feel you're not overreacting, you're not too sensitive, and this is not proof that the spark is gone forever. Every couple who has ever felt safe with each other has, at some point, sent the text that made the other person quietly pull back. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which text you've been sending, maybe for years, without realizing it's the one thing quietly killing your partner's attraction to you. And more importantly, you'll understand why you couldn't see it while it was happening. Let's get into it. Most couples believe attraction fades because people get comfortable, but the real truth is this: comfort was never the enemy, certainty was. The moment your partner can predict exactly how you'll react to a silence, a delay, a missed text, their nervous system stops feeling curious about you. And curiosity is the fuel attraction runs on. Your partner's body reads your texts before their mind does. A message dripping with anxiety lands in their chest as pressure, even if every word in it is loving. A message dripping with control lands as a leash, even if it's disguised as concern. Attraction needs a small amount of space to breathe in, and the wrong text closes that space in under 3 seconds. This is why trying harder in your texting never works if the emotional tone underneath it stays the same. You can rewrite the words 100 times. If the need underneath them hasn't healed, your partner will feel it anyway, somewhere in their body, before they've even finished reading. And once you see this pattern, you'll start noticing it in every unanswered text, every scene with no reply, every conversation that quietly changes temperature after one message gets sent. Here's where it shows up first. Here's the part no one talks about: the anxiety text. Most people think a few extra texts show you care. Double texting, "You there? Did I do something?" sent within minutes of silence. But here's what nobody explains. That silence you can't tolerate isn't actually about them. It's an old alarm system from somewhere long before this relationship, and your partner has become the fire it's trying to put out. Every anxious text says, underneath the words, "I need you to manage a feeling I haven't learned to hold myself." Picture it. He's in a meeting, phone on silent. 40 minutes pass. She sends, "Hey." Then 12 minutes later, "Everything okay?" Then, "Just checking you're not mad at me." Now picture the version where 40 minutes pass and she puts the phone face down on the counter, makes tea, and texts once, later, warm and unhurried. "Thinking about you? Talk tonight?" Somewhere in him, when he finally checks his phone, something quiet says, "She trusts me even when she can't see me." And that trust is the exact thing that makes someone want to come closer, not the reassurance chasing that's actually pushing them away. That is the difference between a partner who feels chased and a partner who feels chosen. And once your texts stop asking to be reassured, something else starts creeping in. The opposite problem. This is where it gets really interesting. The interrogation text. Most people think asking detailed questions shows investment. Where are you? Who's there? Why didn't you answer sooner? But here's what changes everything. A question asked from fear doesn't sound like curiosity to the other person's nervous system. It sounds like an audit, and nobody feels attraction towards someone auditing them. Not louder questions, not more follow-ups, not a longer paragraph explaining why you're upset. What actually rebuilds trust is one honest sentence about your own feeling, with zero demand attached. Picture the group photo she saw on his story. Version 1. "Who's the girl in the blue jacket? Why didn't you mention you were out with people from work?" Version 2, sent an hour later, after she's taken a breath. "Saw your story, looked like a fun night. I felt a little insecure seeing it. Not because you did anything, just being honest with you." His shoulders drop reading the second one. Something in him thinks, "She told me the truth instead of testing me." That's when your partner stops feeling like a suspect and starts feeling like someone worth being honest with in return. And once interrogation stops, there's a quieter killer waiting right behind it. The text that says everything except what you actually mean. Here's the one almost every couple gets wrong without knowing it. The passive-aggressive text. Most people think it's fine, or no worries LOL, or whatever you think is best, is keeping the peace. But here's what nobody explains. Your partner's brain doesn't hear peace. It hears a locked door with a note taped to it. Passive aggression in text form is one of the fastest ways to make someone feel emotionally unsafe, because now they have to guess what's actually true, and guessing wrong feels like punishment. Picture him canceling dinner last minute. She sends, "It's totally fine, don't worry about it," then goes quiet for 6 hours. Now picture instead, "Honestly a little disappointed, I was looking forward to seeing you. Can we find another night this week?" He reads it and something in him relaxes. She's not making me guess. I know exactly where I stand. Clarity, even uncomfortable clarity, is more attractive than performed, calm, every single time. Read that again. Because the next one is the biggest one on this list. This is the one that ends more relationships, quietly, than any argument ever could. The withholding text. Most couples think pulling back, shorter replies, longer gaps, going cold, will make the other person notice. Chase, finally understand how much this hurts. But here's what changes everything. Withholding doesn't create longing. It creates distance that becomes permanent, because your partner's brain adapts to the new normal faster than you think. Silence you intended as a message gets received as an exit, not a longer wait, not a shorter reply, not K, but one sentence that names what you actually feel, even if it's messy, even if it's not perfect. Picture the fight that never got resolved. He goes quiet for 2 days, one-word answers, "Yeah, sure, NP." Now picture instead, even mid-hurt, "I'm still upset about the other night and I don't know how to say it right yet, but I don't want to go quiet on you." Something in her chest loosens reading that. He's still here, he's still trying. That's all I needed to know. That's when your partner stops feeling like they're losing you and starts leaning back in instead of bracing to lose you completely. And this next one is the one that hides in plain sight, because it looks like the opposite of a problem. Here's a truth almost nobody wants to hear. The constant availability text. Most people believe replying instantly, always being reachable, always saying yes to plans is what a good, secure partner does. But here's what nobody explains. Attraction needs a small gap between call and response. Not distance, a gap. When you're available in every single second, you accidentally remove the tiny space your partner's mind uses to miss you. You become furniture instead of a person they're choosing. Picture her replying within 11 seconds to every message, all day, every day, for months. Now picture her living a full life, texting back warmly but sometimes an hour later because she was at the gym, at dinner with a friend, actually present somewhere else. He notices the second version. Something in him thinks, she has a whole life, and she still chooses to text me back like this. That's rare. Rare is attractive. Constant is comfortable, and comfortable. Left unchecked, quietly stops being exciting. Not louder, not longer, not more urgent, but full. Full of a life that makes you worth texting in the first place. Here's the part that ties every single one of these together. The fixing text. Most couples think that the second something feels off, the responsible thing to do is to solve it immediately over text. Long paragraphs, timelines. Here's what I think we should do. But here's what nobody explains. Some feelings were never meant to be resolved in a text thread. Trying to fix a nervous system level fear with a well-organized paragraph is like trying to put out a fire by describing water. Your partner doesn't need your logic in that moment. They need your presence. Picture the 3-paragraph text explaining exactly why the misunderstanding happened, sent at 1 a.m., demanding a response before either of you can sleep. Now picture instead, "Hey, I don't think we should try to solve this over text. I love you, let's talk when we're actually face to face tomorrow." She reads it, and something in her exhales. He's not avoiding this. He's protecting us from doing it badly. That's when texting stops being where your relationship gets damaged, and starts being where it simply stays connected until you can do the real repair in person. And the final one is the quietest, and the one every single pattern above has been circling the whole time. This is the one underneath all the others. The disappearing self-text. Most people think losing yourself a little in texting, mirroring their tone exactly, agreeing with everything, never bringing your own day, your own opinions, your own personality into the conversation, keeps things smooth. But here's what changes everything. Attraction was never built on smoothness. It was built on two full people choosing each other, again and again. A text with no personality left in it doesn't feel safe. It feels like talking to an echo. Picture the version of you that only asks questions, only agrees, only responds to what they bring up. Never once texting, "Guess what happened to me today," unprompted. Now picture the version of you that still shows up as a whole person. Funny, a little messy, opinionated, alive. Even in a two-line text about grabbing dinner. He reads her random, ridiculous story about her coworker's cat, and something in him thinks, without even meaning to, there she is. That's the woman I fell for. And when you let yourself stay fully yourself in every message, the walls between you come down without either of you having to say a word out loud. Same room, same low light, same phone glowing between two people who love each other and don't quite know how to say the next thing. Except this time, she doesn't send the anxious text, and he doesn't go silent behind his back. She puts the phone down, turns toward him, and says the true thing out loud instead. This was never a list of texts to avoid. It's an invitation to bring your whole, honest, unfinished self into every message you send. Because the moment you stop managing your partner's feelings through a screen and start actually trusting them with yours, everything about how they experience you starts to change. Attraction was never something that just happens to you. It's something two people keep choosing to protect, one honest message at a time. If one of these hit a little too close to home, tell me which one in the comments. I promise you're not the only one. And if you want to know exactly what to say instead, in the moment it actually matters, that's the video I made right after this one. You didn't lose the spark, you just forgot, for a while, that it was always something you were building, not something you were owed.